Welcome back, and sorry for the delay in bringing you any content. It brings me great pleasure to say that today we'll be once again doing a new review. I needed the 3 weeks just to get some new suits in, do some research on them, test them out, and of course, most importantly, race in the said suits to see what I think about them. And now I feel like I've got the confidence in what I know about the suits to bring you a review. So without further ado, let's jump in. Today we'll be looking at a brand hailing from San Diego, known as Q Swimwear. Now before I started looking real deep into the different tech suits out there on the market, I didn't actually know who Q Swimwear were. It was only when I was looking through the FINA approved lists at different brand tech suits to race in that I come across Q Swimwear. But as soon as I browsed their website at their suits, I was absolutely hooked and definitely wanted to try them out. I say this because they, without a doubt, make the funkiest tech suits on the market. There's not a doubt in my mind that these guys make the craziest designs of a race suit. Forget arena, forget speedo, Q Swimwear are at the very forefront of awesome designed tech suits. Now, having a cool looking and a cool aesthetic is one thing, but how they perform is another. And they do offer two suits, all in the same designs, but I've only got their flagship, the Q Glyde bonded technical suit. I was a little worried. It cost 180 British pounds, which is at the very top end of tech suits in terms of cost. In fact, that's the same amount of money I paid for the Mizuno GX Sonic 3 that I previously reviewed. Oddly enough, when they emailed me to tell me more about the suit, they told me to take into account that it is a more budget orientated suit. And I couldn't do the maths. I just weren't understanding what they were getting at, because at 180 pounds, to me, that's not a budget suit. They were telling me to analyse it as if it was one. When I got the suit and tried it on, instantly I was a little underwhelmed. In fact, I'll be honest, at 180 pounds, I was very underwhelmed at the quality of the suit and everything about it. I've got the suit here. Here it is, the Q Glyde bonded technical suit. And I was a little worried. The suit features two layers of material. As you can see, the outside fabric is made of polyester and elastane, and then on the inside it is a slightly different composition of them two materials. It's allegedly dipped in their dry tech as a carbon coating, and it also has water repellent fabric. It's more on the compression and the fit, but you can check this out yourself on the website. I got two suits sent through because I weren't too sure on what would fit. Based on a size guide, I was probably a 28, which is what this suit here is. But I know a lot of suits come up big, and I said I'd probably be more suited to a 26, which I also got, as you can see here. It's really cool that they sent me both sides of the suit, because it also allows me to show you two different designs. On the left here we have the Water is Our World design, and on the right in the 26 we have the Plasma design. Both are really cool. The left one is super flary and exciting. The one on the right is quite mechanical and a little bit more robust looking. But both I love, hence I picked them out of the 12 or so options there is. Looking a bit more at the physical design of the suit, and one of the first things I noticed was that they advertise that these are a bonded suit, but the seams are in fact stitched. As you can see here, they are stitched, and they just almost have like a tape covering over the top of just some of the seams. The seams here on the legs and on the waist are still just stitched and openly done so. Secondly, the material generally feels quite heavy. The suit is a heavy suit compared to something like the Speedo Laser Elite 2. They're quite a big suit. So if you look at this is a 28, but it looks like the same size as a size 32 training jammer. Most top suits, when I get them through, I look at them and go, how the hell am I going to fit in that? Whereas this, I look like I can slip in it in 30 or so seconds. And to be honest, I can. They don't have quite as much stretch as the polyamide suits do. Feel like the material that, you know, is going to give you that top performance. When I've showed them to mates, they go, yeah, they don't feel as good as my so-and-so. Having already read what the box says about how it's been treated with a water repellency coating and it's a water repellent material, I did find that after I'd raced in these trunks, they stayed wet for a long time, which did concern me a little bit, because most of the top trunks, after I wear them for the first time, they're instantly dry. So we'll splash some water on now. What's positive is you can see that there's beads of water on the suit, and as you can see now, they shake off quite well. So when exposed to small amounts of water, they do in fact repel it well, they bead up, and you can almost wipe the water off. However, when you dunk said suit into the water, as I did there, it's a little less water repellent, and you can see it's now started to absorb the water and it's staying quite wet. So I think while the material is water repellent minimally introduced to water, when it actually is submerged as you would in a race, it's a little bit more absorbing. Okay, so we're now going to talk a little bit more about the fit of the suit, and I am wearing a size 28, which would be the most ill-fitting of the two they sent me through, but I quite like the funky design of this, and everything I would say about this probably stands for the size 26 as well anyway. Now, if you look at the coverage of the suit fits me spot on. It comes, you know, well under my navel, but covers everything it needs to cover, and it sits just above my knees like I would want any suit. So I don't want the suit going right down to my kneecap like I showed you with the Finney's Vapor. So in terms of coverage, the suit's spot on, and I would have nothing to fault with that. But that being said, when you actually look at it a little bit closer and I start to move around, there is creasing everywhere. And again, I can put this suit on in like 20 seconds, the same as any training trunk. So there's creasing all around my groin area. It's a little bit better down on the quad, and again on the hip. It really is quite creased up. Now, what I found with the size 26, which I would say fits me a little better and it's a little tighter, but we still have that creasing, but the coverage is a little bit smaller. So it would be for a smaller person in terms of it finishes a little higher on my knee, it doesn't come as high on my hip. So when I was looking at the suit, I don't think that I would say, oh, I'll just grab a 24 and that would get rid of the creasing. I think the creasing would still be there, it's just the jam would be up to like here on me then. And then if I went down to 22, I'd be looking at it, would be like almost a 14 centimetre brief. So I don't think if I went down sizes, it would get rid of this creasing. I just think it would have less coverage. So I think that's more of a design, so we say, choice, flaw, one of the two, to be a little looser fitting and not just be ultra tight and super locked in like some other suits. What this means is if you're someone who's younger and not used to sort of that high performance racing suit where it's super tight and, let's be honest, a little uncomfortable, that might throw you off. This is something that get a nice fit, it's easy to put on, it's a funky fun design, and you know, it will cover what needs to be covered. It's not going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be a little looser in certain areas, and potentially for certain people they might want that. If you want the absolute utmost performance, then absolutely not. And moving into when I raced in this suit, I wasn't happy with the compression. I think that, as I said, I've already gone over the water repellency, and I don't know, it didn't feel awesome at all. I didn't feel like my hips were holding higher in the water like they do with the Mizuno's or the Finney's Rival that I'll review soon. I didn't feel that, you know, I was getting that extra bit of support that my legs and my quads especially like. I felt confident wearing a cool design, and it was easy to put on, it was easy to take off. So in terms of performance, it definitely is nowhere near that flagship level. And to be honest, if I was going to say how much I'd want to pay based on performance, I'd probably say circa £50-60, and I think it would be a pretty solid buy still at about £80. If you want a fun suit, I don't think this can be beat. And I'm not just saying that. The designs are awesome. About 4 or 5 designs really stuck out to me, and even with the option of 2, I really had a hard time deciding which 2 I wanted sent it through. So if you want a fun looking cool suit, absolutely. I've met a lot of younger people, my sister was one of these actually when she swam, who didn't want that ultra tight, ultra performance suit. They just wanted something they're comfortable in. And for some people, especially if you're racing longer races and doing stuff like medley, comfort goes a long way. If you're uncomfortable in this tight, compressive suit, while it may aid performance, it might have more negative impacts mentally. You don't have to think of things like, I have to put it on 40 minutes before my race because it takes so long to put on, but then it's uncomfortable. You can put this on well before your race and stay comfortable. You can put it on really close to your race because it goes on so quickly. You really have to assess what you want out of a suit if you are to buy this. If you're looking at me wearing this suit right now and think, cool, that's cool. I'd love to rock up at a gala and race in something that bright, that leery, that fun, that exciting. Well then, yeah, absolutely, by all means, I don't think it's a bad purchase. But if you're watching this channel because you want to find what is the very best suit on the market, in all honesty, I'd steer well clear of the Q Glyde bonded. Can have a review in the future, reviewing the Q-Tech hat and goggles. Spoiler alert, I absolutely love the hat and I will be wearing this at the National Championships next week. It's my favourite race hat to date, but I prefer it to the Speedo Fastskin free hat that I previously raced in. So big shouts to the hat, it's like 10 quid, absolutely awesome hat, hugely recommend it. And the goggles, I've been training in them, I wouldn't choose to race in them, but that's just me. So I'll do a separate review on these because, well, I think they deserve it, especially the hat. That's the jammers. I hope you enjoyed this review. There is more to come. I've got 5 more suits, I think, waiting in there to be reviewed. So please subscribe, please give it a like and do what you can to support this channel.